If I have 20 million naira in cash today to invest in the real estate market, here is something I would do differently. I've realized that many investors often focus on building first, and this is where I believe most of them get it wrong. Smart investors focus on capital appreciation. So as an investor in the real estate space, if I have 20 million naira in cash today to invest in real estate, I will not rush to build a house. Rather, I will position. Because as far as real estate is concerned, if you build a house in a stagnant location, one thing is certain, that house will continue to depreciate in value. But investing in land in the right corridor will guarantee you capital appreciation on your money. So now in this video, let me give you two strategies that you can easily invest with your 20 million naira and maximize returns on your investment. I'm going to cite examples, and then with this example, you'll be able to understand how you'll be able to utilize 20 million naira in cash in order to invest effectively in the Abuja real estate market and then have maximum returns on your investment. Now, let's take, for instance, an investor A. We have investor A and investor B. The both of them are given 20 million naira. The both of them have 20 million naira in cash to invest in the Abuja real estate market. Now, investor A is thinking about starting a house, like starting a foundation to build a house to give out for rent, right? So he takes this 20 million naira and then kickstarts his building. So you can see that what the investor A is thinking about is building a house, right? Even though his idea of building a house to give out for rent is not a bad one, but then timing and also the area also matters a lot. That is why I always say that when it comes to real estate is not just about investing. It's about strategic positioning, right? So you need to be very strategic in real estate investment. If not, you continue gambling your money here and there. So let's take, for instance, investor A is thinking about building, right? Whereas investor B, who has this same 20 million naira in cash, says, okay, instead of starting a foundation to build, I don't know if I can even complete it. And even though I complete the house, how long will it take me to get the capital back before the profit on the investment? So investor B quickly takes this money and then he goes to a developing corridor and then buys land. Maybe he gets to a place where they are selling land for 10 million naira, 5 million naira, and then let's say 10 million naira. He bought two plots of land for 10 million naira each. He got 2 plots for 10 million naira each. Now give them 5 years down the line, you realize that investor A, who started his foundation in the area that development is not even coming up, with the aim of building a rental property in that location, becomes very stuck financially, because in the end he could not even finish it. And you see that because he has put all the money in this building. And one thing about building is that, especially if you build in a location that development is not coming there, the depreciation on that building becomes very, very high. Now, I came across a video where I saw somebody who built a very big mansion in the village. In fact, there was no house surrounding that particular mansion. A very beautiful mansion in the village. This is that the value of that particular property is far less than that same mansion if it were built in a city like Abuja. So with this, you see that in the next 5 years, this person, investor B, realized that with his 10 million naira investment in a plot, he was able to even make twice of this money. That is, each plot, in the end, after 5 years, he was selling it for 20 million naira each. So at the end of 5 years, you see that investor B was able to make 40 million naira, because he was able to get 10 million naira in profits from each of these 2 plots. When you add to the 20 million naira capital that was invested, he got 40 million naira. Now, investor B can equally think of, okay, with this 40 million naira, let me see if I can build a bungalow in a strategic location within the city of Abuja and then give out for rent or even use it as a commercial place. So you see that with this example now, you see Mr. A, even though he had an intention of investing to make profits, he was not strategic with his investment. So in the end, his money got stuck, right? So as an investor, there are certain rules that you need to consider before investing in real estate in order to have huge appreciation on your investment. The first rule is for you to consider developing areas, especially if you have limited capital. Consider developing areas. The second rule I usually tell people is think about the exit strategy. If you invest in this location, how are you going to liquidate that particular property? And the third rule is to think of cash flow. Now, let's look at another example. Another way which you can be able to utilize 20 million naira is to invest in off-plan properties. These are properties that are being sold when construction is still ongoing. So if you find an off-plan property that is being sold at the initial stage, you can quickly invest 20 million naira into it, provided they are selling for 20 million, depending on the price though. Then if you can invest 20 million naira at the early stage or even before they kickstart construction on the site, you'll be able to wait for maybe in 2-3 months. You'll see that from the 20 million naira you've invested on a 2-bedroom or let's say 3-bedroom, depending on the case, in the next 2-3 months, you see that your 20 million naira investments will have appreciated to, let's say, 30 million naira. And by the time that building is completed, you see that your 20 million naira will sum up to something big. So this is another strategy that you can utilize to really maximize appreciation on your investment. So in essence, one thing I want you to take note of is real estate is not just about spending, it's about positioning. It's about making decisions today that your future self will be proud of. I'm Alex Irombi. If you're interested in investing in the Abuja real estate market today, why not send me a DM so that we'll get started on your investment journey.